Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and along with my co-host, Eddie Nicholas, we're here not only listening to fantastic music tonight, but we're here to discuss music, business news, and trends from around the world. Eddie's out on assignment, so I'll be reporting this evening. Now, I really want to talk about what we've been discussing for the last couple of weeks. The last couple of episodes have been around streaming services and how artists are getting the short end of the stick, so to speak, in terms of the royalty payouts. The aggregators, those are the companies that put out the music, and other outfits are getting the lion's share of the income, where the artist is getting one fraction of a penny per stream for their input, their creative input. And so we obviously feel that that's not fair, and it needs to be looked at quickly and fairly. But now, tonight I want to really focus on the other side of the coin. We've been discussing sort of the money play and how businesses are making money from streaming services, including ads. But I want to talk about how this all translates into data. Data nowadays is key. For example, there was a great piece that came out last month in The Atlantic. A writer by the name of Derek Thompson. Derek is talking about the Shazam effect. In one of our previous episodes, I discussed Shazam. It's an app on your phone, and what you can basically do is if you're at a club or a bar, or restaurant, or whatever, and you hear a song, you can activate Shazam on your phone and have it listen to whatever's being played, and it 9 times out of 10 will tell you what the song is, and a lot of times it'll even have a link where you can purchase the music. So anyway, so we think that's great that we can finally start to ID some of our favorite songs, and it connects us with the music. It allows us another avenue of discovery. So I think that's wonderful, but then you start to look deeper. What's happening now is record labels and digital music marketing companies alike, they're looking into these trends. And this is called the Shazam effect. They're looking into how many people are tapping directly into these certain songs over time, and whether that develops a habit that they can tap into. And what they're hoping they can do is take this big data and predict what the next hit will be. So a lot of these outfits now, a lot of these companies are coming together and learning about algorithms and other mathematical equations to try to determine where the next big hit will come from. Now, obviously, you know, on the surface, you think, okay, that's kind of cool. Imagine if you had the key or the tools to know what things you had to put in place in order to get a hit record. I think that would be really powerful to know. However, that totally negates and totally is the antithesis of what music creation is about, right? Music creation to me is about, you know, sending out messages to the world through art. It's very artistic. It's a feeling. It's emotion. It's supernatural. It's spiritual. It's a lot of different things that have nothing to do with algorithms and mathematics and the logistics and rationales, you know? So I always have trouble with different pieces and studies that talk about music in the context of data. But I think it's important because nowadays, when the vinyl switched over to CD and then over again to digital downloads, now you had a really easy way to track not only just full albums, but individual tracks, and it became more about how close we can get as an industry to the next big hit. And I think that's a bit of a problem, because now when you listen to the radio, more times now than even before, everything starts to sound the same. It's as if everyone has access to the same data, and over time they're implementing that and taking that back to their teams, and they're developing music with these ideas in mind, and everything is starting to sound the same. So I wonder if big data is this good thing or bad thing, you know? I definitely want to talk about more of that and more here at the Freedom Radio Hour. Definitely visit freedomradiohour.com and join the conversation. post under anything that we're posting by leaving a comment and let us know. Sound off. Let us know what you think about what's happening in the music industry right now. When we come back, we're going to be discussing more about streaming services, and I want to give you an update on YouTube and their new service that they've just launched called MusicKey. It's like a Spotify, but we'll see what happens with that right here at Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the heartbeat of Sudan.
Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
And we're back live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the heartbeat of Sudan. This is the Freedom Radio Hour, and I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and along with my co-host, Eddie Nicholas, we're here talking music, business news, and trends from around the globe. As I mentioned, Eddie's off, so I'll be reporting this evening. At last break, we were talking about Google in a little bit of trouble right now. Google has launched their own answer to Spotify. We were discussing streaming services. There's Spotify, YouTube, there's Pandora, there's Rdio, there's a lot more. So Google, not to be outdone, has partnered with their own YouTube to develop MusicKey. That's a YouTube MusicKey. And what they're doing is basically offering a Spotify type service, except theirs is a little bit different. As you know, I don't know about you, but I do a lot of my music discovery on YouTube. So I'll find sort of rare versions of things I like, or maybe a cover of something I like, or anything, something a little bit sort of on the outskirts, if you will. And so that's why I kind of like YouTube. So YouTube, being fully aware of that, has developed MusicKey. And what they want to do is offer these added features. So right now, as you know, you can go on YouTube right now and enjoy the music for free and the videos for free. But what they're trying to do is get you to buy into a premium service where for $10 a month, you would get ad-free listening, so no advertisements. You could also listen to the music offline. And you could also listen to the music in the background. So if you ever notice that when you basically listen to music and it sort of goes off on your phone, you won't be able to hear anything anymore. So what it basically does, as you buy into the service, it allows you to listen to the music in the background. So even while your phone is locked. So that's great if you happen to do that. I don't know about you, but I would kind of be interested in that if that was something I was into. So they're hoping by developing this kind of model that people will gravitate and become subscribers of YouTube, especially now that they've taken, as an added bonus, you have access to their all access program. I guess it's part of the Google Play. I'm not subscribed to that stuff, but I understand that now they've bundled it all in and they want you to pay a fee per month. And what YouTube's trying to do is take a bite out of that streaming services dollar. And this is back to my point. The lion's share of the income is not going down to the artists. It is going to the huge companies like Google and such, because they know the money to be made is in advertisement and in targeting viewers so that they can use data to benefit them in the future. So I was really interested to see what YouTube has around the bend around that. And it's very interesting. All of it starts to compromise copyright. Copyright used to be this thing you want to hold so tightly to, but now in the advent of downloads now with streaming and the mobile devices, it's kind of changing the way we think about copyright ownership. And so next time I really want to talk about what that really means, because I've been thinking about a particular argument I've been developing over time, and I want to share it with you guys. When we return here on the Freedom Radio Hour, I'm going to tie up what we're discussing. I want to bring up one more point, and then of course I want to give you a preview of what's to come on our season finale coming up next.
Freedom Radio Hour.
And we're back here live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the heartbeat of Sudan. Before the break, we were talking about YouTube's MusicKey, a streaming service that's out to take some of that dollar away from Spotify, their competitor. Well, now, as you know, Apple bought Dr. Dre's Beats, those really funky headphones, and they launched their own streaming services from that. That's called Beats Music. So what Apple's in the middle of right now is a rebranding, and they plan to relaunch that Beats subscription service in March of 2015. Right there, instantly they reach hundreds of millions of potential new customers for them to sign up to the service. So I'm thinking there's a big pie here of money to be made, because now you have Spotify, RDO, you have YouTube, this MusicKey service that's coming out. Now Apple's kicking in. I had to think about what's the power of these streaming services. It's those aggregators. If Eddie was here, he would say it's those aggregators making all that money. You're right, Eddie. I came across this great piece from Digital Music News that talked about this very thing. They were charging, they were saying, you know what, Apple, we think you should go ahead and take heed of the fact that this digital revolution, as beautiful as it is, it's missing two key things that us lovers of vinyls have, which is the physical product. They said, wouldn't it be cool if you downloaded something or got something from the streaming service, Apple, and from your phone you could swipe to the right and get the credits of the track. Swipe again, you get the lyric. Swipe again on your phone and you see the photography or the additional liner notes. Swipe again and you could click to buy tickets, like to Ticketmaster. So what they're saying is, why don't you take this, Apple, and try to put your own product on steroids, if you will, and take a bite out of the competition, you know? So I wonder what will happen. Next time on our season finale of the Freedom Radio Hour, we're going to be discussing copyright ownership versus access. And we're also going to be shining a light on some great new music coming out by shining a light on some of the new artists coming out, like Tracy Brathwaite, and Eddie Nicholas, and a lot of other great artists here. So stay tuned every single week, especially here at Capital Radio 91.6, the Heartbeat of Sudan. I miss Eddie. Eddie is so good at this. I get a little tongue-tied, but you know, we're going to see our man again here. So I'll see you guys next time. Check out the website. Check out EddieNicholas.com. He's got a brand new record called One Time out now. And check out the Freedom LP from yours truly, Adam Cruz, at DJAdamCruz.com.